Hello, 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 and welcome to RosaryMeds Audio. This is the initial broadcast of the audio commentary that comes along with the blog RosaryMeds.com. And so, what I'm going to do today is briefly introduce RosaryMeds article, or the RosaryMed website, and why I'm creating this audio series. All right, so us off the bat, just so you know, I'm not a professional podcaster. I don't have a real professional setup with nice microphones and audio processing. I just have a normal consumer level webcam that I'm recording on my personal computer. So this is probably going to be the lowest quality podcast you're ever going to hear. But just bear with me. I'm new at this. I just feel like the best way to learn how to do something is to just jump in and do it. And even if the initial product is relatively low quality, hopefully it will get better over time as I figure out what I'm doing. So if you're listening to this, you're probably not listening to this over a real podcast service like iTunes or Google Podcasts or anything like that. You're going to be listening to this on YouTube or the infinitely less evil Rumble and Odyssey video sharing networks. And that's just because I don't yet understand the podcast, like the official podcast networks. I don't understand them very well yet. Maybe in the future I'll spend some time learning them, but for now I do know how to cut videos and post them to the various YouTubes and Rumbles and Odysseys. So that's okay. These aren't videos. You'll probably just have a splash screen and maybe some very simple clips, but I really intend on this being more of an audio podcast format. So if you're listening to this on YouTube or Odyssey or Rumble, you can always just turn your screen off on your phone or tablet or computer, put in your earbuds, and listen to this in the background. So yeah, let's get started. First of all, a little bit about what RosaryMeds is. It is a blog that I started in 2010 that talks about anything and everything related to rosary prayer. So back in 2010, I really wanted to create a rosary website that wasn't just this is how you pray the rosary or this is what each mystery is. But I wanted to have something that was a little bit more tied into the realities and the current news of the day. So when I read news articles, a lot of news articles I would read and I'd think to myself, wow, what could the rosary teach us about this? What could rosary prayer teach us about? This looks a lot like, the fourth joyful mystery, Jesus being presented in the temple. And this article reminds me of that. And let's explore that. And so that's what the RosaryMeds blog is all about, is exploring current topics through the lens of the rosary. And I've started it 2010, roughly. And I got started because I just thought, like, wow, things are crazy out there, and people need the rosary more than ever. And I really thought, and I still do think, that praying the rosary helps us navigate a lot of the challenges that we face as individuals and as a society. And if I thought that things were crazy in 2010 and we were in need of the rosary, boy, are we ever in need of the rosary now. 2021 looks a lot different than 2010, and unfortunately, it looks different for the worst. I think that we're just in a spiral that is just society is just getting crazier and crazier as we get further and further away from God and religion. And it's unfortunate, but I don't think that we're doomed. I think that we can still pull ourselves out of this. I've studied a lot of history, and there's been a lot of dark times in history, and somehow humanity has been able to move forward. And I just think that maybe in the last few years or in the last decade even. We're in a sort of dark times, but I don't think that necessarily this is the end, or we're in a death spiral where we're just never going to recover from this. I'm optimistic. I like to look at the glass half full and think that we can get out of this, but it's going to take effort. It's going to take work to work our way out of this, and that's where the Rosary comes in. Is we have to be provided or armed with the right tools in order to make positive change and to get out of this spiritual funk that the world seems to be in. And the Rosary is the best tool for doing that. And so, why audio? Well, when I write my RosaryMeds articles, I often found that I had to edit them. I had to do a lot of editing to bring them down to something that was readable within a few minutes, because I know that a lot of people aren't interested and don't have time or patience to read a 10,000 word article on the Rosary. I understand that, but maybe a lot of you that don't have time to read RosaryMeds articles can instead listen to them online. So I know that I do this with a lot of podcasts. I just turn them on and I'll be, mowing the lawn or doing housework, and I'll just have the audio running in the background, and I'll be listening to it in the background. Not the best, because I get distracted. I may miss important parts of the podcast, but it's better than nothing. And maybe if you listen to this and you're listening to the background and you think like, wow, wait, what did you just say? You'll either back up or you'll go and read the articles online. Because really, when I'm reading those articles, I do leave a lot on the cutting room floor, and I hope that I'll be able to things that I leave out of those articles, I'll be able to mention in the audio feed here, and you can get a more complete viewing. So ideally, it would be great if you read the articles. Think of that as a little bit of like your homework to be prepared for the audio broadcast. So read them, listen to the podcast, but I will take either or. I'll do whatever I need to do in order to get you praying the Rosary more. So that's really is the name of the game. That's why I write these RosaryMed articles. This is why I'm producing this audio series, is to just get people more aware of the Rosary, to see the value of praying the Rosary, and turn the world more to just praying the Rosary. We should be praying it every day. And if I can just get a handful of you to do that, that's progress. And hopefully, our Holy Mother Mary, Jesus, Holy Spirit, they'll do the rest. They'll bring the rest of more and more people into the fold. So that's all I got for today. Again, this is a very quick. I'm actually going to try to keep all my audios quick, like under 10 minutes, just because I know that even with podcasts, people have fatigue, and a lot of times they just want the quick bite, and anything more than 10 minutes might be a little bit too long for a lot of you. So I'll try to keep it short. No guarantees, but that's my goal. And so keep up that Rosary prayer. Start that Rosary prayer if you haven't, because we have to remember that a Rosary a day keeps the devil away.